the First Republic. It has been on the drawing board from the days of the First Republic. And if in 2021 we are still talking about Mambilla Hydroelectric Power Project not taking off the ground, it is indeed a very, very sad day for Nigerians. I share these sentiments. Now, I am aware that the major constraint against further progress or the taking off of these projects has been the arbitration case in Paris. Now, I would like to, with all humility, distinguished senators, say that there are two characteristics which if a public servant has or possesses, he will crack any challenge, especially if it is a project. And these two characteristics are professionalism and integrity. They are very important because your professionalism will help you drive the challenge of any project, while your integrity will help you arrive at negotiations that will be mutually acceptable to contending parties, among contending parties. There must be a way we can compensate the company that took us to court. And if I am posted to the Ministry of Power by Mr. President upon confirmation by this hallowed chamber, I will definitely make a difference within 1 year. God helping me. I know where the problem is, and I can crack it. Distinguished, I think these are the questions asked by distinguished Senator Folarin and my elder brother, distinguished Senator Goje. As to the questions by my distinguished brother, Senator Shuaibulao, the frequent cases of building collapse in Nigeria are numerous. But I will limit myself to what has been documented as the major causes of building collapse in Nigeria. One of the major factors is the application of substandard or defective materials, mainly because a client or a building owner wants to cut corners and make more profit. One other factor is the use of quacks instead of using professionals. If you want your building to stand, there are at least 7 basic things you should do. 1, please hire an architect. 2, hire a structural engineer. 3, the other professional members of the team, mechanical and electrical engineering and quantity surveyor. The quantity surveyor is key in determining the cost. Now, make sure your design is adequate and conforms with building codes and regulations. Make sure that the building conforms with specifications as specified in the bill of quantities. Now, in most cases, one other fundamental point you have to consider is, and which a lot of people ignore, is what we call subsoil investigation. Now, this is particularly relevant in places like Lagos, which is an area that is below sea level. You need to have the right foundation on which your building will stand, and for you to do that, you need to do some subsoil investigations to determine the nature of the soil below the ground. That in turn will help you determine the type of design for foundation that you will have to come up with. As they say, any building that is not built on a solid foundation stands the risk of collapse. These are some of the factors. But one other one, again, I recall now, which is quite regular, is the fact that people do not conform with building codes and regulations. That has been documented also. As to the issue of housing deficit, no doubt, some talk about 17 million, some say it's 22 million. But whatever it is on the rise, just as our population is rising by 2.5% per annum. Now, we are 200 million Nigerians. It is estimated that by the year 2030, we will be about 230 million. By 2050, Nigeria's population will be hitting the 400 million mark. And so, there is need for us to look forward and address the issue of housing, which of course is also a fundamental requirement, is a fundamental right of citizens as enshrined in our Constitution. This administration has done very well. There is no doubt about that. But we need to deepen what we have done so far. For example, we may have to deepen reforms in legal, regulatory, and institutional reforms. Very important, because, for example, land should be easily accessible and cheap and affordable. For example, we should be able to pool resources that are available in insurance companies and pension funds. These are long-term investable funds, which we can pull together through some institutional reforms, synergizing with the Federal Mortgage Bank and the mortgage banking institution as a whole, and make sure that citizens can have access to funding, have easy access to land. Now, my take is that the private sector has a key role to play for two reasons. One, government resources are limited. Two, government should not be interested in business, in the sense that it is not every housing infrastructure that can be regarded as social housing. And so, we need to bring in the private sector and partner with them, make land easily accessible to them, make it easy for them to obtain titles, and I believe with that, they can be encouraged to invest a lot of the investable funds and make more houses available for Nigerians. Thank you, sir.